Good morning, Cancer. How are you? Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. This is going to be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. Cross watchers, if that is you, discern the messages accordingly. There we go. Cancer, this is going to be the first sign going out for mid-month March. Let me adjust this just a smidge. All right, good deal. So, Cancer, we're going to jump right into it for you guys. I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry that the mid-month is coming out a little bit later than I had hoped, but the good news is I think we've got technical issues resolved finally at last. The lighting, I made some adjustments in space here. So, I don't know. We'll play with it as I go with the signs. The lighting isn't the best this morning. It's pretty early, so that time change screwed me up and probably screwed up everybody else too, I'm sure. So Cancer, let's see what's going on for you guys mid-month for March. I will tell you, and I will tell all the other signs, you know, we had Saturn move into Pisces since the last videos, which has been a bit debilitating on many avenues. And then, you know, we're getting ready for Pluto to shift into Aquarius, right? On the 23rd of the month, and people are having, you know, tower moments. And I've talked to so many of my clients and customers and friends and family who are seeing crazy things happening around them and they're feeling overwhelmed. It's going to be very important during this time that you keep yourself grounded, keep yourself in check. I think that some people are handling it better than others, so it's just going to depend on you and where you're at, right? Okay, Cancer, let's see what's going on for Cancer, please. All right, get a couple overall energies. And I say this, right, a lot of tower moments, transforming tragedy sits at the top there. All right, Cancer, so honoring adversity, celebrating simplicity, and sharing shame. So a fire reveals a path of renewed direction once the burning is complete. And we talk about those tower moments, right? And that comes under the honoring adversity. We talk about the tower moments. So if you're experiencing something in your world right now, Spirit is saying that it appears to be heavy to you, that it feels heavy to you, understand that something is trying to pull you away from situations, people, things of that nature that are not serving your highest good. And I know that I say that quite frequently, but it is the truth. It is, you know, verbatim, it is the truth that, you know, if you're out somewhere and there's a fire and it burns everything to the ground, growth happens. And I think a lot of us look at tower moments as, you know, a destruction because change is occurring. And as humans, we don't like change. We're not fans of change. We're not encouraging of change. We like to do the same old, and we have an expectation to how our day is going to go. So then when something comes in and upheavals that, it can be a little bit of a shock to a lot of people because we don't embrace that change, right? So understand that there's a part of this, it's trying to renew you moving forward. There's an overall collectiveness of some timeline shifts depending on what you get into, seeing timeline shifts, seeing things that are not as they meet the eye kind of things. And I'm sorry, the cat is wound up this morning. Love him. Yeah, you can probably hear him in his bell, right? So confirmation, I guess, right? The bell. Anywho, so it's understanding that these things are trying to push you forward on a positive trajectory for what is going to serve you moving forward. The celebrating simplicity, if you like to overdo things, overcomplicate things, overanalyze things, it's welcoming a change of simplifying everything in your life at this time. And it says, I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Be okay with saying, I need to simplify my life. Take a look at the big picture. Learn to establish your boundaries right now. Too, that if things are feeling heavy and overwhelming, that it's okay to tell people, no, I do not want to have this conversation right now. It is okay to say, no, I don't think I can do this today. Establishing your boundaries of, you know, people who get upset, put it this way, people who get upset with you establishing a boundary for yourself, they were abusing your boundaries to begin with, right? People who are in your life that respect your boundaries we'll say, okay, let's see how else we can make this work, right? So it's going to be a position of how they look at you and how you see them, and vice versa, right? But do not be afraid, Cancer, to set the boundaries and say, listen, I said I could do this from this time to this time. That's it. Or, you know, I need time to sit down and read a book. So you're going to have to give me 20 minutes of peace. But it's making sure through that you're simplifying the things in your life that are not working for you. Sharing shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. And to me, this is signifying what it is right now that is a difficult situation for you, and learning to express that. To open yourself up emotionally. I feel like, excuse me, for some of you, you may not be opening up emotionally as you should be at this time. And there's a need to express that emotion. When that emotion sits within us, we tend to get into a position of where we're harboring that internally. And that internal stress can cause us to feel, you know, multitudes of things that really are not truthfully within us as we had once thought they were, right? So, and then, you know, transforming tragedy. Loss is my reminder that more room has been made for greater gifts to be received. And like I said, with those tower moments, if things are being pulled out of your life at this time, or things, I want to say more than anything with that card, that things are shifting right now. Not so much that things are necessarily being pulled from your life. This is a little crooked, sorry. That it's not that they're being so much pulled from your life as they're asking you to address it in a different way. And with that, it's coming to a deeper understanding, a deeper leveling of knowledge to the situation, that, you know, things that are not serving our good, why are we hanging on to those types of things? It's requiring change and growth from you. So don't see it as a bad thing, all right? Okay. All right, for Cancer, please. For Cancer. Coherence, number 4. The frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. And remembrance. And I'll say this in regards to that, which I don't know why, but this always reminds me, was it Journey's one album, Don't Stop Believing or something? So maybe that's a sign, because I don't think I've ever said that in any of the videos before when that card's come out. And I don't know that it ever really, it might have come out once or twice, but maybe that's your song. Maybe that's a song you need to listen to. But coherence, you know, it's funny, I did a reading the other day for a Cancer, and we talked about the heart and the brain coherence and them getting on the same page. Don't overanalyze everything. Very much, it's very important, I think, at this time to get out of your headspace. It can be exhausting you beyond necessary need. You know, it's obviously sometimes we have to think about things and decide what we're going to do with them. But our heart and our head have to be on the same playing field, right? To inquire into that growth, to change who we are, to open us up to new ways. And there may be a struggle between the heart and the head of making sense of things in the world around you as it's shifting right now. And Spirit is telling me to tell you, don't be afraid of that. You know, let go of any fears attached to that. And we've got the 5 of Swords, talking about that mental energy. It's like, you know, on the cut there, the 5 of Swords and the Hangman. Stop stressing out. To me, it feels like what Spirit's giving me in this feeling that I have associated with these 2 cards is that it's like you can't fathom how this is going to happen. Whatever this it may be for you, you can't fathom how things are going to change. But it's requiring a different perspective. And I think that for some of you, instead of just being in the state of flow, you're overanalyzing how this is going to work out, whatever this is for you. I'm going to tell you guys, and I may share this with all the other signs as well. I had a massive tower moment the past weekend. It's part of the reason that I'm a little late getting these videos out to you guys. But to be in a state of surrender, you know, that most often equates to the Buddhist and the Hindu the Hindu path. But surrender in spirituality is to just release the need to control, to release an expectation, to just stay in a healthy, positive mindset that there are circumstances in our life that we cannot control. That it is just beyond where we are. It's not our job to deal with the external forces around us and take on responsibility for that. You know, and for you at this time, it's releasing that control of what is comfortable, what is known, to open yourself up to a new way of doing things. So, you know, just be at peace with it. Whatever is meant for you is absolutely going to be there for you. Don't feel the need to control an outcome, because it's what makes you feel comfortable. You will be, Spirit is saying, divinely guided, divinely protected regardless. You're going to be given and gifted exactly what you need, they say. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you for those messages. All right, for Cancer, let's dig in a little deeper here to see what's going on. Ten of Swords and the King of Pentacles, or Ten of Swords and the King of Pentacles, both in the reverse position. I feel like that this situation for you guys is leaving you, and then the Five of Cups. Really examine what it is that's going on in your world right now that you need to walk away from, the things that are not stable. If they don't bring you growth, if they don't bring you a sense of relief, what is it about this, right? That Ten of Swords to me is like always staying stuck at the end of something and not being able to move forward. I may sneeze. I may sneeze. Here we go. It's either sneezes or nose is itching or something all the time when I read for you guys. But, you know, it's looking back to the past rather than to looking at the present. And I think that you're sitting there and looking back at the things that didn't work, the things that were not stabilized, the things that were arrogant, egotistical, material-based. It's time to change this way of thinking. And again, I feel like in the past week or so, we went through a massive timeline shift, and you may feel like waking up one day going, how the hell did I get right here, right now? And you may have already experienced this, I would say, too. And it's like, but you're looking back to the things that did not fill your cup, and it's requiring a space for you to rest and to heal, to let go of the things that don't work again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for some of you, Spirit is saying that you're seeking a loyal companion, and you're comparing everything from the past to now, or everything now to the past. Let go of the past. And I know that's easier said than done, right? When you're sitting on this side of it. But there is a need. There is a need to let these cycles of these people or situations that were not healthy, to let them go. You know, because I feel like you even feel like it's taken you off course somehow. Make peace with it. Make those situations your friend. It's not a bad thing, you know, and I think that we think that it's a bad thing. All right, for Cancer, please, Spirit. All right. They want to give me something here. So present energy, the world, completion. When I say let it close out, right? Let something come to the end. It's requiring you. So you may have sat in you know, timelines will be different for all of you, but you know, sitting in there with that Ten of Swords in the reverse position, and now you're moving on to the world, letting a cycle close, letting a cycle complete. You know, that part of your life is done and over with. For Cancer, the Tower. I talked about those Tower moments. There it is. You cannot make it up. King of Wands. For some of you, you may be dealing with a Sagittarius. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Capricorn there again. Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. But guys, you've got two major arcanas in the present. We talked, you know, as I sat here and I just said to you about how, you know, something is trying to close out so that you can begin this new space. I feel like a lot of you do feel like you're stuck. But understand that the World card comes in and it creates a massive shift. You're completing a cycle. And I feel like for some of you, you do have the determination, you know, that the King of Wands on the bottom. He's fiery, he's passionate, he's forthright. You may be experiencing things coming into your life that you just never saw it coming. You know, the Tower is a breakdown. It's a breakthrough, it's a breakdown. And that World card with the Tower just goes breakthrough. Breakthrough, breakdown. You know, you can either sit and wallow in some kind of misery and feel unstabilized, or you can step into your power. And honestly, Cancer, I feel like this is you, for the most part, with this King of Wands, that you're fighting the fierceness that lives within you. You guys, heart of gold, right? But when you get determined to get stuff done, excuse me, you're on it. And I really feel like that's what Spirit is asking you to do. You may feel like you're dealing with some competition. You may be feeling like you're dealing with a variety of people. Everybody's like overstepping, overreaching. And you feel like you just need distance and time and space. The Knight of Swords is a messenger. You may be getting some kind of news as well, that is going to require you to think outside of the box, to step into some creative pursuits. And I feel like internally you're not quite sure how you get there. But you have, Cancer, you have amazing determination to see things through. Let go of the old ways. Maybe some fear surrounding what you've worked for, what you've put in. I feel like you guys feel like you're starting over. Alright, for Cancer, let's get some future energy for you all. Future energy for Cancer. The Devil. What is that about, guys? The Devil. Right, for Cancer, future energy. Again, dealing with a Capricorn. For Cancer, please. Oh, too many, but let me take a look at these. 10 of Cups, 6 of Swords, 7 of Cups. Not sure what direction you're headed. You know, we just talked about that too. You know, when those tower moments come in and something new gets created, we're like, shit, what is this? What do I do with that? How do I go from there? One more card, please, Spirit. I'll take it. The 7 of Swords in reverse, the 6 of Cups. You know, I talked earlier about thinking about the past. And that 6 of Cups to me is nostalgic. Again, how did I get to where I am? How did I get here? Reminiscing over life cycles and maybe situations, marriages, friendships, work, jobs, kids, career, you know, so many different things. Don't self-sabotage. Do not go back to ways of doing things that were not serving to you. If this is a past person coming back around, if they took from you once, they will take from you again. So be cognizant of that. Be smart about the decisions that you're making if you see people popping up. But you've got the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Wands. But then there's that 5 of Swords energy again. Overthinking it, overanalyzing, and giving yourself a goddamn headache. You know, it's not serving. Spirit says for the whole collective of the Cancers out there, it's just not a healthy energy to sit in. But you guys tend to put up with things or people in a different type of way. It's time to cut them off. Time to, funny, there's the 8 of Cups on the bottom, didn't even shuffle yet. Time to emotionally walk away from those things in your life at this time. You can remember, that remembrance card, you can remember those things and be aware of those things. Take the good memories with you, learn the lessons from the ones that weren't so pleasing, and then move forward. Queen of Swords, the 8 of Cups. A lot of Swords energy with you guys, a lot of mental energy with this reading, even though they're not on the table, but the 7 of Swords. When you emotionally walk away from these situations or the things that seem to be difficult at this time or that they're shifting, you will gain clarity. You know, the Queen of Swords, she's got her shit together. She's analytical. She's logical. She's smart. She's, did I say intellectual? Probably, I don't know. But she is very, very aware. Very smart woman. Or man, doesn't matter, right? But she's got it figured out. She's got it figured out. You can't outwit her. You can't outsmart her. She is completely disconnected from her emotions as she uses the 8 of Cups to walk away. Sometimes we do have to, you know, it's one thing to be smart and analytical about things. It's another to just forget that we're emotional beings, though, too. Sometimes we do have to step outside of our emotions and go, what makes sense? But to overanalyze it is where you're getting caught up. You can think about it and get clarity on it, but don't overthink it to the point that you're making yourself insane. Spirit is saying give yourself time for rest, and what comes out, the King of Swords on the past energy. Needing to step into, and there's the Ten of Wands in reverse. To clarify that, one more card please, Spirit. I'm going to leave that right there because that's where that landed. So let's go. All right. The Death card. The past. Refusing. Spirit is saying refusing not to give up. And if this is how you're seeing it, you know, there's the Empress energy. We've got Temperance. Scorpio energy. So you may be dealing with a Scorpio, maybe dealing with a Sagittarius, and the Empress. I always see her as Aries, just like the Emperor. It's just how I view her. But anyhow, this is the need to cut things off. And that Ten of Wands in reverse, it's not laying down those burdens. It's not laying down what's heavy and hard. And the Death card in the reverse is refusal to transform your energy, to transmute whatever this is that has kept you stuck for so long. It is time to let go. We are in a position right now with alignments that we don't have control, and you're the Empress. The Empress doesn't continue to play with things that don't give her growth. She walks away from those things. She is all things that are beautiful and feminine and divine. She creates life. She is beautiful and she knows it. So, you know, and they're also talking about self-esteem right now, and thank you, Spirit, for that. You know, maybe seeing yourself in a different perspective of just not feeling good about you right now. Nothing's changed about you as far as the beauty that lays within you, unless that's a choice that you decide to make, right? So you need to ask yourself, are you being down on yourself right now? Are you beating yourself up for something when it comes to the physical being of you, your beauty? Because if you are, why? Ask yourself why. Spirit is saying there's a need of acceptance for certain situations. Again, this is about closing out a cycle and starting a new chapter in your life. This World card. And there's the Emperor. I just want to say this to you too. I've seen the Queen of Swords on the split, and I've seen the Queen of Swords, or the Queen and the King of Swords. Just had the Empress on this underlying. The Emperor comes out. The Ace of Cups comes out. The Emperor and the Empress, right? Ten of Pentacles at the bottom. The Moon, there you are. Cancer, Pisces energy. I usually see it as Cancer. Ten of Pentacles again on the bottom. If this is in love, again, I said earlier, comparing things to the past, right? Are you comparing new people in your life to prior relationships, prior marriages, prior entanglements, whatever you want to call it? When you're doing this, you're keeping a separation between you and that divine counterpart that's meant for you right now. That Ace of Cups, and you may have someone coming in to express their love, and remember too, Cancer, that roles can be reversed, right? So you may have someone who's offering you some type of love commitment, some type of, hey, this is how I feel about you, because that Moon in the reverse position is about, you know, showing our emotions, truths coming to light, and that Tower moment is, maybe this was unexpected news. I talked about that Messenger earlier, right? That Knight of Swords coming in with news for you, and maybe this news rocks you a little bit, something you weren't prepared for. But I also feel like you're stepping into this, whoever this is, whether it's you or somebody else. I think I'm going to sneeze again, maybe. Anyhow, get that tingling in my nose. More confirmation, right? With that Emperor energy, it's likely to be you, Cancer, but it could be somebody else who is like, I don't know that we roll this way. I don't know that we deal with our emotions, but I also feel like someone else is bossing up and coming in going, here, let me make this offer of emotional understanding to you, because I see you as my Ten of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the World card. There's that world. Then we step into the Hierophant, a higher level commitment. This is a higher level understanding. This is a spiritual connection, getting to the Ten of Pentacles. There's something new to be gained There's something new to be learned here, and Spirit is bringing that to my attention, and I thank you, Spirit, for that. But it's learning to let go of those past situations so that you can get there. But you cannot spend your life comparing everything to the past. You cannot compare apples and oranges, right? Excuse the frog in my throat this morning. We went from like 70 degrees to like 30 degrees. And my vocal cords are over it. All right, for Cancer, please, Spirit. Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. 10 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Spirit is saying falsified belief also. Which leaves you to a space of indecision. I'm going to say to you this as well. One, are you dealing with a toxic woman around you somehow? I'm not quite sure why that comes out the way that it just did. But use your intuitive skills. I actually kind of feel like you're on the outside of this devil energy looking in at somebody else's bullshit for some reason. And it's leaving you in a place of indecision as to what you want to do, how you want to address it. Getting away from self-sabotaging tendencies. Because I feel like there's certain aspects to whatever this is, whether it's love, business, children, you know, it could be anything, that make you feel good, make you feel grounded and stable. But it's going to be about the way that you address it at the end of the day. What is it that you're doing with it? And I think that's really important. Excuse me again, goodness. For you guys to understand that. This is also indicative to me, as Spirit just said, it's about childhood wounds. So are you comparing the current time to, you know, your childhood? And are you, and Spirit, again, thank you, says to me that there is, some of you are looking at the way you're raising your own children, to the way that you were raised. And I feel like some of that is you're beating yourself up over that too, not feeling like you're able to do enough, or not living up to maybe an expectation that you gave yourself. And this could be a very stark realization for you at this time. Maybe expressing some regret, some remorse too. Trying to do things differently. Being a little more loving and compassionate. You know, Cancer, you guys are big-hearted, wonderful people to begin with. And it's also understanding that you can overgive as well. And if you're overgiving to a situation, some people will take advantage of that, right? So pay attention to the way that feels for you and where these situations might be playing out for you at this time, okay? I just get the feeling that this mid-month series of readings for all of you, Cancer, and the rest of you, is, you know, the rest of the signs as well, they're going to hone in on some very specific things, because I think there's very specific things that we're going through, and that they need to be addressed. So I think these are going to be a little sombering in a sense, but that's not a bad thing, right? We're learning something from that. So, all right, couple cards here of advice for Cancer, and we're going to wrap this reading up. Rest and rejuvenation, woman, a hold and coin. Listen, you've got the Queen of Wands there. To me, this is the Queen of Wands. This is also the Queen of Pentacles, and we have both of those ladies right here. You can see the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, right? Fiery, passionate, determined. She's sexy as fuck, by the way, or handsome as, right? Like, y'all have it going on. For the record, let me just say, we talked about that beauty. Like, shut up. Like, do not, if you're discrediting yourself, knock it off, because that's not your truth. Live in your truth. Live in what it is that makes you feel good. And there's that Queen of Swords, I'm telling you. And you know, I'm going to say too, if you're a male, predominantly if you're a male, you may have a few different options when it comes to love. Got three, you know, when I say male or female, you know, you guys all identify accordingly, and I don't mean it in any kind of slight. But, you know, if You're the masculine, we'll say the masculine energy in the situation. You could have multiple suitors at this time. And that may be, you know, if you've got 3 people surrounding you, pay attention to the ones that are repetitive patterns. Do you see similarities that make you comfortable? Because that's what Spirit's asking you not to do, is not to repeat these cycles that make you feel like hell at the end of the day, like you're shortchanging yourself. Take a pause. Pay attention. Relax. If they're interested, they're not going to go anywhere. But that Queen of Pentacles, too, she's intuitive. The Queen of Wands, she's intuitive. The Queen of Pentacles, you know, she is all things stable. She's growth. She is materialism. She is so firmly planted in her foundational energy. Like, she's worked to build that kingdom, right? She's worked to build things up. She's worked to be calm, cool, collected. Stay in that energy, and I feel like that's where you're struggling. For some of you, this may be, I don't feel this way about myself, or what is it is this what they want from me? Or is this even what I want at all? So pay attention to that energy. All right. Cancer, 2nd chakra, Archangel Ariel. What's interesting to me, Cancer, is the second chakra, the sacral chakra, is the sign, or is the chakra center that Cancer identifies with. Is kind of like part of their life paths work. So when you look at the chakra centers, every sign correlates to one of the 7 main chakras, and it has something to do with the things that we are working on, and it's our desires. And there you are, overthinking it. Again, the thinking woman. Understand that you have gained so much knowledge and insight, you know, and our 2nd chakra is you know, one of our external you know, points to the outside world, right? And it is our desires, our sexual desires, our emotions as well. And again, that emotional energy of the external, being caught between that and the headspace. How you see yourself, your divine feminine beauty. And males, you have feminine beauty within you too. It's not just women. So it's understanding that this is a pivotal turning point of transformation for you. Embrace that. It's not a bad thing. Yeah, look, appreciation on the bottom. Envy. Stepping out of that victim mentality, I'm going to call it, of this is so hard, this is so heavy. Appreciate what you've had. Appreciate where you're going. Love and admire all the aspects of yourself, Spirit is saying. Love and admire all the aspects of the world around you, and then let go what is not bringing you forward into light. All right. Yin and Yang. Again, to me, that's card of completion with this particular deck. Doors to personal. Oh my God. Cancer. You guys and this mental energy right now, you are blowing my mind. Holy shit. I'm like, can we end it on a different note? No. Behind that personal doors of healing and happiness, there's that a card of anxiety again. Over-analyzing, overthinking what it is that is going to make you happy. As long as you're coming in balanced, and I think this is a call too to get into this balanced energy. You know, the heart and the head. You know, you think about like bossing up. That comes from an intellectual place, right? A drive, a motivation. You think about that emotional sense as well. That balance, again, between the heart and the head. Opening yourself up emotionally and being a little bit vulnerable. You guys are fully aware of that past toxicity. You know it. Deep down in you know it. They're asking you to change that for yourself. Do it differently this time. Balancing. It's a balancing act sometimes. It really is. I want to say we started off your reading with a 4, with coherence. We're ending it with yin and yang, a 4. Again, your foundations. That tower may have come in for you all and totally upheavaled certain aspects of life. where nothing is the same. Don't see it as a negative. See it as a space for growth. Spirit is saying that you're not quite where you thought you would be somehow. Ask yourself if you're getting in the way. And then ask yourself if maybe Spirit has you right where you need to be. Okay? Very important. And I will throw you, I have 35 minutes in. Okay, I'm going to throw you guys 2 love cards from Spirit also. So if anybody is interested in love, heart-to-heart conversations, talking about, I think I said this earlier, talking about how you're feeling right now, right? Love yourself first, that inner beauty. Be happy with who you are. Embrace all parts of you, even the ones that, as humans, we think, oh God, we're broken. You're not broken. You're not falling apart. You're not any of those things. Love you, appreciate you for who you are. Heart-to-heart conversations. Find a friend or your partner or spouse or whoever. Be vulnerable in saying, this is how I feel about me right now. This is how I feel about various things in my life right now. What I say, talk to your friends. Let your friends help you. There it is. There it is, Cancer. Talk to people about how you're feeling. Open yourself up to that vulnerability. It needs to happen. Doesn't matter if it's, romantic or not. Love is love. It is safe for you to love. One more card for Cancer, please. Keep an open mind. Stay optimistic about your love life. Keep an open mind. And love is universal. Like we are love. We are beings of love. We come here to love. And what this is telling me, for those of you that are, in a relationship, if you found yourself shutting down recently, maybe I feel like you might be nitpicking parts of your partner right now, and having an expectation set of them as how they need to be doing things or how they behave or their habits. Don't forget that they too are human beings, right? Maybe things aren't meant to be the way you thought they were either. But don't shut yourself down out of fear. To give our love and compassion to another person shows our strength, always. We can't have hurt without love. It shows how much we have loved when we hurt, right? But keep your faith, and whatever, if you and your partner are meeting with some challenges right now, keep the faith. Things just may be making some changes for you, right? It happens. For those of you who are single, fear-based thinking of how do I offer myself up? How do I give my love? Because I had an expectation of what the past looked like, and I'm going to go back to that past energy. I had an expectation of what I thought it was going to be, and it's not there. I feel like you guys are going through a whole emotional checklist of shit that is like, wait a second. It's like all of a sudden a mass realization to so many things in regards to the ability to love and sit in your emotional energy right now, Cancer. And for those of you who have no interest in love, just to be open and vulnerable with another person, even your friends, as we've seen that, let friends help you, right? If you're rehashing some old wounds or found that some old wounds have resurfaced for you at this time, know, and I'm going to use words that somebody once told me, and she happens to be a Cancer. It won't always be like this, and it won't be. Those emotions are brought up to the surface because we're meant to learn something. We're meant to address something at a specific time. So don't see it. And Cancer, you guys are beautiful creatures. Flirt. You want love, you got to put yourself out there too. It says it is safe for you to love, and then the card behind it, as I'm putting it back in the deck, says express your love. Express yourself. I've been preaching it this whole reading. Talk about it. Speak about it. Roll around in it. Feel good in it, right? Just let yourself exist. And I have a whole analogy in my head, and I just can't even say it. It's inappropriate. But the things that come to me sometimes. But just let yourself be open to love and help and acceptance and peace and beauty, to work with other people. And it doesn't take, I'm going to say this to you, a good situation doesn't take your independence from you, ever. Okay, so if you're thinking that that's how this works, let me check you real quick. You are wrong. A good healthy love, you might be jaded from past experiences. There's that appreciation again, thinking woman. Be grateful. Be you know, second chakra, you got hostilities. Trying to cocoon yourself. First chakra, again, stability, foundations. As I gotta put this back, I oftentimes look at that. I'm like, oh, what's underlying this somehow? It's about your stability, how grounded that you feel in your energy. So, you know, I don't know where you're at, but go ground. Go outside and ground. Ground yourself. It's going to pull you out of that mental energy, for one. And number two, you know, us water signs, when we get into that mental or that emotional disconnect between the head and the heart, and we're overthinking shit and we're all over the place, we have to ground ourselves. Those waters of our emotions will take us downstream and just shoot us out into a vast ocean of just wave after wave after wave after wave, and it makes us absolutely insane. Ground yourself. Be in flow with the water. Don't fight it. Let yourself feel. Let yourself open up to those things. All right? Cancer, I can't wait to see what April holds for everybody. I mean, truly. This past week has been incredibly wild, and I think that your reading here alone is indicative of that. And healing, there we go. Romantic love. Soul time. I'm telling you guys. Emotions right now. Deal with the things from the past. Acknowledge them. Give them grace. Give them love. And get ready to move forward. Okay? Cancer, if you found this video resonated for you, hit that like button, please. It really does help circulate the videos, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Again, it's one of the greatest ways to show your appreciation to everything that we do on the channel here, and to get these messages out and get some to everybody else as well. So yeah, hang in there, Cancer. It'll be fine. Embrace your beauty. All right. I'm sending you guys so much love. I will touch base with you all closer to April for your April readings. You take care of yourselves, and I'm sending all my love and light. Bye.